Today is the 1st of July 2023, and I'd like to introduce you to negative numbers. Okay, numbers less than 0. We've been working mostly with positive numbers, but I need to show you, assuming you are adding, subtracting, dividing or multiplying, and there is a negative number or two negative numbers, how you are going to work around that. Okay, I need to let you see how you do that, because as we go along, you see negative numbers like -5, add 10, -5 times 10, negative time 5 times -5, or -5 minus -10. Things like that becomes a bit confusing for pupils, so I'm going to just introduce you to it and give you some examples, simple examples, to go and wrap your head around so that you can understand it. So that when you start doing complex stuff with those kind of numbers, you will be able to understand better. So always remember, negative numbers are numbers less than 0. So from -1, -2, these are negative whole numbers, and you can have like -0.5, -7.5. Okay, now negative numbers can happen in an overdraft, so you spend more money than you have in your bank account, so you have negative £20. That is a negative money that you have to go and find. Okay, or cold temperatures. When the weather is hot, we know that the temperatures are above 0, but when they are freezing cold, then that is a negative temperature. Okay, so we use negatives in so many in life. Okay, but if it's money, try not to be in the negative. At least if it's your bank account, try and leave a pound or a p. Okay, try and not go beyond the overdraft unless you have to, because with overdrafts you have to incur interest. Now, so I've drawn a number line here for you. That is my 0, and that's my positive, so I can go as far as I want. This number line is not to scale, and I can go as negative as I want. Okay, so I have -1, -2, -3 far, and I can go as much as I want. And I have +1, 2, 3, 4, and it can continue. Okay, now this is a temperature scale, which is not to scale by my drawing, but I'm just showing you, so it can go further and further, and it can go down. At times you can have the temperature like in some cold places in the Arctic, like -20. That will be very cold, and sometimes it's very a lot colder than that. And then you can have the temperature very high in maybe Africa or in the desert, very high, and at times it is very, very hot, like at 30 degrees Celsius and stuff. Okay, so I'm just trying to make you understand it in normal life, why at times we need to include negative numbers in our study of maths. Adding and subtractions. Okay, so now I've told you so far we've been using positive numbers, but I want to introduce you to negative numbers, because along the line I'll be talking about those too. Okay, so straightforward. 14 add 3 is 17. Okay, 20 add 5 is 25. 10 add 16 is 26. And the other way round, 14 minus 3 is 11. These are straightforward. We can all do that. Okay, someone in primary school can also do that. Okay, so 50 minus 20 is 30. Okay, but assuming you had 20 minus 50, okay, then because the first number is smaller than the second number, here what it means is you had only 20 pounds, assuming it's money, and you went to the machine and you withdrew 50 pounds. So now you owe 30 pounds. Okay, so that's why you have a negative, and that's where the overdraft idea comes from. Let's look at this example too. So here what it means is you are already in overdraft minus 15. Instead of going to pay it and clearing that overdraft off, you went ahead, maybe because of circumstances, and took another 55 pounds. So now you owe minus 70. So if you are subtracting two negative numbers, then you are going to get a negative. Okay, if you are subtracting and one number is lesser and the other is bigger, like in this situation, then you are also going to get a negative. Okay, these are also a bit straightforward to understand. However, assuming you have something like this, I realize that people get confused. So you have 10 minus 6. This is easier on the number line, but in this case, how you look at it is 2 minus becomes plus. So 10 minus 6 equals 16. So after I've done here, 10 minus 6 is the same as 10 add 6, which is 16. So if you have a situation like this, so like 4 minus and then minus 2, your answer becomes 4 add 2, which is 6. But if you have 10 minus 6 is 4. If you have 4 minus 2, this is what I mean. If you have 4 minus 2, the answer is 2. But immediately you have 4 and you're subtracting minus 2, it becomes addition. So it becomes 6. I hope I'm clear on that. Okay. Now, when we are multiplying, okay, we know that 3 times 2 is 6. But what if one of the numbers are negative? Here, what it means is I have 3 people owing me £2. So now 3 people owe me £6. But not to confuse you, 3 times minus 2 is minus 6. If you have one minus sign, then the answer is minus 6 if you are multiplying. Okay? Minus 4 times 2 is equal to minus 8. Okay, but minus 4 times minus 2 is 8, as 4 times 2 is also equals to 8. So if you have 2 negative numbers multiplying, is equal to a positive. And if you have 2 positive numbers multiplying, is also equals to a positive. But immediately there is a 1 negative number multiplying a positive number, your answer would definitely be a negative. As in these 2 examples, minus 4 times 2 equals 8. So I've done here minus times positive equals minus. Okay, the same applies to division. But if you have 2 minuses, your answer will be positive. Okay. Now, here, minus 8 times minus 2 is 16. Minus 3 times minus 7 is positive 21. Okay. Let's look at division. Division and multiplying are similar, so it's the same principle. So minus 10 divided by 2 will be minus 5. As long as it's only 1 minus sign, the answer will be minus. So we did fraction, so what it means is minus 10 divided by 2. So 10 divided by 2 is 5. So you bring the minus sign. Minus 10 divided by minus 2 is also minus 5. 1 negative number, the answer is negative. Unlike division and addition, if one is bigger than the other, then your answer will either be positive or negative. So as we saw earlier, 20 minus 50 is minus 30. but 50 minus 20 is 30, which makes a lot of sense. Okay. Now, if you have two minus sign dividing, like multiplying, it becomes positive. So minus 10 divided by minus 2 is 5. Now, if you put it in the fraction form, it makes a lot of sense. So minus 10 over minus 2, the minus are going to cancel out. So you have 5. Okay. Minus 30 divided by minus 3. Same here. The negative will cancel out. So you have 10. But assuming you had, as here, but assuming you had minus 30 over 3, then your answer will be minus 10. I know this confuses a lot, but you have to get your head around this, because it would, the minus and the positives will help you whether you get the wrong answer or not. So you have to try and learn this. Okay. Two negative numbers multiplying or dividing will give you a positive. One negative number multiplying or dividing will give you a negative. But when you are adding is straightforward. But when you are subtracting, if one number, the number that you are subtracting from, if it is smaller, then you have positive. But if it's bigger, that what I explained, like you have 20 pounds in the bank and you go and spend 50 pounds, then you owe 30, so that's a negative. I hope I'm clear. Okay. Have a look at the video again. One thing you can help yourself do is to have a notebook. So as you are doing this, you can pause and make your own notes. So the more you write it out, the more you are going to understand it. And if you are going to watch it again, then you have your own notes, so that you can look at what I'm saying and work it yourself through, so that it will be easier for you. Okay. So thanks for watching today, and I'll see you in the next lesson.